Hi, I'm Andy O'Reilly.
Hi, I'm Nate Johnson.
And we want to welcome you to the Behind the Mask 2020 Masquerade Ball.
Yeah.
Kind of virtual this year.
It is, but it's going to be fun, though.
I think it's going to be a good time. Next year, we're going to get back to the dancing and good time, but like anybody else, COVID's kind of got us doing the virtual thing this year. And you know what? Sometimes you got to adapt.
You just got to go with the flow sometimes.
Roll the punches. That's what you got to do. The important thing is that we want to be here tonight to thank you for watching until we can get back to what we know and what we love from this event, which has grown to enormous proportions.
From the first time we did it, yes, it's quadrupled.
This is the one to be at every year.
This is it. It's the real deal. Out of all the events that I get to participate in,
right?
This is my favorite.
And
one.
I've been to one or two of them over the years too. Yeah. And to watch this one grow, especially for the mission of the Hope Project,
absolutely,
it has been a tremendous blessing to the community and the people that the Hope Project serves. So we're proud to be here tonight.
Yeah.
First and foremost, we want to take a second to thank the great sponsors of this event.
Yeah.
Welcome to Behind the Mask 2020, a benefit for Hope Project USA. Behind the Mask 2020 is sponsored by Doer Building and Design, Lake Michigan Senior Living, Vandelay Industries, ASC All Speed Customs, Steadfast Engineered Products, Star Disability Advocates, Shelby State Bank, and Roll-R Products. Tonight, we welcome you to learn more about the Hope Project USA and their work to end human trafficking. So, tonight, here's what we're going to expect. Sara Johnson.
Oh, my wife. Yeah,
that's the one.
Her. Okay.
We're going to hear from Sara about the Hope Project and what they do for the victims of trafficking and the aftercare once everything's settled.
Yeah, and tonight we'll also have Rachael McEnhill from the Muskegon County's Prosecutor's Office who will be with us tonight.
She prosecutes all the sex trafficking cases in the county.
Yeah.
You're also going to meet Sheriff Michael Poulin and Donna Lamar, who's a therapist who works with survivors of sex trafficking.
Some of the other things that you hear are testimonies from people, the women who have come through the Hope Project, the restoration, the progress and where they've at, so that you can actually see the impact that the Hope Project has made on the people that they work with.
Yeah, the survivor stories. They're really important. It's a big deal.
For sure.
You're also going to hear from a youth survivor and a mentor, as well as another mentor and mother of a vulnerable youth who's in the Hope Project program right now.
Yeah. One of the cool things is that we've had some donors that have stepped up.
Yeah.
And they believe in the mission and the vision of the Hope Project. And we had one generous donor that stepped up and gave $20,000.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
so it's a matching gift.
So later,
yes,
throughout the year,
yes,
$20,000 could be matched.
Absolutely. So
That's
every
incredible.
time someone gives something, it'll automatically be doubled.
How about that?
Yes.
I'm going to shake you down for a few bucks.
Thank you, sir.
One of the important things to keep in mind, too, we know there's a lot of watch parties going on. We know there's a lot of people out there having some fun tonight, even though we can't be together.
Yeah.
Let's get together virtually. Use the hashtag #BehindTheMask2020.
Yes.
Hashtag #BehindTheMask2020. Put that on all your photos of, Twitter, Instagram, all those things that the kids are doing now.
Yeah.
We're old.
Yeah.
What do we know about that?
Exactly.
But the kids do.
The kids do.
All the important stuff is out there.
Yes.
And make sure that match is in the back of your mind tonight. You're going to hear some great stories. You're going to hear some compelling stories. You're going to hear some sad stories. Yeah. But that match is key to what's going on. It's at least $20,000. So if we go a little over 20, that's great. It could be more.
Absolutely. It'll be great. Anything that you can give, it's going to be a blessing. So make sure tonight, as you guys are together, take pictures. We want to see masks, some of the great masks that you guys have created, just the fun that you're having during the night. But like Andy said, make sure you put the hashtag behind the mask on there so we can, so when people click on the hashtag, everything can come up from the night's event, all the fun that everyone's having.
Let's do the Behind the Mask 2020 Masquerade Ball the best we can this year. Next year, this guy's going to be on the dance floor. I'll be conservatively off to the side, letting him do his thing.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sara Johnson. I am the Executive Director of the Hope Project. Thank you so much for viewing this event. We are so bummed that we can't have the ball this year, but we are thankful that we are still able to do something. And because of you watching this, we're going to be able to do a whole lot more and hopefully expand this ministry to reach a lot more people. Our mission is to support the healing of girls and women who survive sex trafficking and prevent further cases through mentoring and education. This is what we do. This is what we're called to. Jesus came to set the captives free. That's another reason why we're here tonight, because he died so that literally people could be set free and that they could be healed and restored. And that's why we exist, is to set captives free, to bring healing and to bring restoration. We want to prevent trafficking from happening. It's horrible. Our client, who's 11, she's going to be turning 12 here pretty soon, and she was trafficked. The majority of the women that we work with were trafficked as children. Some were sold by a family member for drug money or for rent, or some actually were even sold so their family could have food on the table. Other of them were forced to be in pornography. Some haven't had a place to go at night. They didn't have a place to stay. And in order to stay there, they ended up having to have sex for housing. Others met their trafficker online. They met someone who pretended to be a boyfriend and ended up being a trafficker. Some other of our clients struggle with drug addiction. And then they met someone who exploited them, and that was their pimp. We serve vulnerable youth also. So we serve survivors of sex trafficking and girls who could be more vulnerable to trafficking. Vulnerabilities include being sexually abused, if they've been in the foster care system, if they're running away from home, if they have truancy issues, if they're sexting. We serve those girls. We have a mentoring program for them, as well as survivors, because we don't want them to end up being trafficked. You might be wondering, well, what does the Hope Project do? What are their services? We do community outreach. So we're out in the community raising awareness about human trafficking, because if no one knows that it's an issue here in West Michigan, then nothing's going to be done about the problem. So we raise awareness. The other thing we do is come around and wrap our arms around survivors of sex trafficking and vulnerable youth. So for survivors, we have case management for them. So if they need housing, we're able to connect them with a resource that can provide housing for them. We have a hygiene pantry here, which the girls can access once a month. We have counselors here that we partner with, and they provide therapy for these ladies. They have gone through some extreme trauma, and counseling is huge, a huge piece of that healing for them. We also have groups for the girls. We have therapy groups for them, and we're starting recovery groups. A lot of the women that we serve struggle with drug addiction or other addictions, and now we're going to be able to have a recovery group for them. We try to provide the best support that we can. With our mentors, we have some amazing women that you're going to hear from later tonight who are mentoring these girls, and they meet with them for at least 4 hours a month, and they just pour into them and they listen to them. Listening is huge, and that's what we do here. We listen to their stories, and then we see what their needs are, and we try to best help their needs. Another thing that we have going on here at the Hope Project is that we are working to open a home for girls 11 through 17 who've been victims of sex trafficking. And the other thing that we're doing, which this is new news, breaking news, we are also going to be housing adult survivors. We are very excited. We feel like we are at the verge of some major breakthrough in our organization. And we are very thankful that you are here watching tonight and learning about the Hope Project and learning about human trafficking.
My name is Rachael McEnhill. I'm an assistant prosecutor for Muskegon County. I'm also a representative for our office on the Lakeshore Human Trafficking Task Force, and one of my duties in our office is to prosecute human trafficking cases. In my experience, sex trafficking in West Michigan looks like the vulnerable being perpetrated on by the offenders. And by vulnerable populations, any one of us could be vulnerable at any different time in our life. As far as the cases that I've handled in Muskegon County, my experience is threefold. First, an adult who was drug addicted and was vulnerable because she was drug addicted. Her dealer took full advantage of her drug addiction. He would sell her on the streets and make money off her body, and then sell her drugs and make money off her addiction. I have also had an individual who was in a very abusive relationship. Her significant other was addicted to drugs. Not only was she physically beaten, she was forced to go out and sell herself on the street to support his addiction. The third type of case that I have experience with here in Muskegon is a young lady who was sought out on the internet. She was tricked into meeting up with a person. She was given drugs and alcohol, and she snuck out of her house late at night. She was afraid of what her parents would do to her if they found out that she was doing those things. She was also threatened, and the lives of her pets were threatened. She was afraid for herself, afraid for her family, and afraid for her pets. She didn't want to tell what was happening. She was made to have sex with multiple men, and to her, it was easier to sacrifice her body than to get in trouble with her parents. She was taken advantage of. She was lied to and manipulated. And unfortunately, she was only 11 years old. I've worked with the Hope Project in many ways and many times in that I refer victims here. They also support our victims through the court process and beyond in their lives outside of the court process. And they have also brought potential victims to me for potential prosecution. What the Hope Project means to me is comfort. It's comfort in knowing that I have a partner right around the corner. It's comfort in knowing that I can call day and night. It's comfort in knowing that when I send a victim to the Hope Project, they will be cared for and supported. It's comforting to me to know that the victims that come here are shown their own value and help to regain the power over their lives. As far as advice for youth, use common sense. Don't become a friend with someone on social media that you haven't met in person. If you do choose to meet someone that you met online, meet them in a group setting. Also, use your common sense and don't be a bystander. If you see something that doesn't look right, you need to step in. You need to be supportive and check in on your friends. Victims become vulnerable because they become isolated by the offender. So if we don't allow our friends to become vulnerable by being isolated, that is one way that we can support them. Check in on them. Make sure they're doing okay.
What brought me to the Hope Project was a realization that I had not dealt with the trauma that I have endured in my life, and that trauma was causing inappropriate emotional responses, and I was acting out against people in my life, and especially in my marriage. The honest truth of it is, I had a desire to be a better bedroom wife because there were so many triggers. And my husband's not equipped to deal with all of that. He's not. And I've had a lot of perspective changes in the past year that have just resurfaced a lot of those feelings and emotions. And so when it was destroying my marriage, I knew that I had to do something. And I've known about the Hope Project for a long time. And I honestly was approached by an employee. But the employee said, what you've been through is the people that we serve. We can help you. It was really important to me to find a counselor that could hear my story and not be traumatized after. Because there are a lot of counseling options available. There are counseling pastors at my church. But that's not my story, and the depth and breadth of it is not something I want to inflict on another human being just to hear it. Because it tends to traumatize them. So the fact that I could go to a place and speak to a qualified person and know that when I left the room, it wasn't going to be the worst story that she ever heard. I was not going to give her nightmares. That gave me the freedom to be more open and to share that story so I could get into the mess and deal with that trauma. And what is amazing about the support group is that when I walk into that room, I know that I'm surrounded by women who have endured the same things that I have. I think my life would be very different right now if I did not find the Hope Project. I honestly believe that I would be divorced. I think my husband would have just given up and left me. I was so broken, and I had no tools to make it better.
What brought me to the Hope Project, I was trafficked for about 2.5 years between the ages of about 13 and 16. So kind of my prime teen years. But it wasn't until I was about 19 that I actually found the Hope Project, that I actually realized what I'd been through was even trafficking, because it didn't look like what was in the movies. First, the Hope Project helped me identify what I'd been through was trafficking. What I'd experienced was grooming. I'd never heard of that term before. I always thought that it was just like kidnapping and then, you're sent to another country. They helped me with lifelong friendships. I've found girls who have become family, who have, been able to identify exactly where I'm at and the positions I've been in and where I'm going. I have ended up being able to find relationships that are healthy. I found love, started family. So they've really helped my whole entire well-being. And had I not found Hope Project at the time that I did, I probably would have actually gotten back into trafficking. The things that made me vulnerable, it kind of starts at my birth. I was instantly, as soon as I was born, I was placed in foster care, which can be very rough for anybody. But for me, there was a lot of trauma there that wasn't recognized originally. And that kind of stemmed into my childhood. And so when I was about 10 to 12 years old, I really kind of gave up on myself. But I ended up finding friends in the neighborhood, got really involved, found somebody that, a couple actually, who was a couple years older than me. And I thought it was so cool to hang out with them. They were an amazing couple in my eyes. They were always together. But now looking years back or years later, I'm realizing that she was actually grooming me. And through them, I actually met my pimp. We double dated for a while and it seemed really cool until they just disappeared. I ended up obviously falling in love, falling head over heels for him. And it started out slow. It was the, always asked me where I was or what I was doing. Even though I was in school, it was the, well, what are you doing after school? It was, the every minute of needing to know where I was. But I didn't realize that although it felt like love, it wasn't. And then eventually, 6 months in, it was the having to have sex with him because of this reason or that reason. Or I owed him, sexual favors. And then eventually it was I owed other people sexual favors on his behalf. And so I didn't realize that I was falling right into the trap. My advice for youth, whether they're vulnerable or not, I think is to have a good foundation. Whether it's the friends you choose, the family you choose, have a good foundation. I believe that every person should donate because it could be anybody. It could be your brother, your sister, your niece, your nephew. It could be you.
Hi, my name's Mandy, and I'm one of the mentors through the Hope Project, and I'm sitting here with the mom of one of the mentees, a vulnerable youth. What made me want to be a mentor is that I think everybody has a story. We all have a story in some way, shape, or another, and it's unique to us. And we have the ability to use that story to empower us or to have that story tear us down. And I think it takes the right support system for that story to really empower you. And I felt really called after hearing about the program at the Hope Project that I could help in some way. I wasn't sure how, but it turned out that God really intended for me to be a mentor and to be able to really walk alongside one of these vulnerable youth and help her to know her story, own her story, and use it to just make her stronger in this world. My mentee is 16, almost 17. The things that we usually do together is we've gone on a couple of hikes, lots of talks, lots of coffee, That's a favorite. Going out to eat and really just spending time together. My mentee and I have been meeting since February of this year, and it seems like it's gone really fast. It's crazy to think that we're already coming up on a year that we've known each other. My favorite part of the mentoring program is honestly that I'm a mom, a wife, I work full time, and this gives me an opportunity to be really personally selfish with my time, that this is time that's set aside for me to spend time with somebody else. And I'm finding my intention was really to help somebody else grow, and I am growing immensely in the process and being able to have this truly dedicated time to get to know another individual and to be another support system to them.
My favorite part about the mentor program is that I got to meet Rita, and my daughter got to meet her, and also met Mandy, and she gets to have one-on-one with somebody other than myself, and she can get close to somebody else. The Hope Project has helped my family with support. It means a lot. I mean, I can call anytime and ask questions, ask for help. You know, even it's just talking to somebody, and that gives me encouragement, positive outlook. This project is helpful, and it's not just helpful for the youth or the teens, it's helpful for the parents as well. So you're getting double the help.
I have really seen my mentee grow through this process. She was very confident to begin with, but that confidence can sometimes almost be a mask. And I think I have seen her grow in that she's willing to be more open about what's going on in her life and how it's affecting her. And through us getting to know one another, I've seen maturity in her, the maturity in sharing things, being honest about things. And I'm seeing her responsibility increase, that she's got goals for her future and she's not going to let anything hold her back. She wants to accomplish a lot. And I think that confidence is being put in, the energy's being put in the right place.
I've seen my daughter grow into a responsible young lady. She has lots of goals, and she plans on keeping her goals to what she wants to do in her future, and she's working hard at it, you know, to make sure her grades are up. And she has a job that she goes to almost every day of the week. She works like 25, 30 hours a week, plus goes to school. So she is responsible.
Mm-hmm. My mentee actually isn't even here tonight because she's working. So my mentee really had something that she wanted to share that she sent with her mom to be able to share today.
This is what she wanted to share. It's when I started to go to the Hope Project, I was like, I'm not going to fit in or like it. But as soon as I met Rita, we just clicked. I can always count on her to make me smile or her to be there for me. The Hope Project isn't just about being a vulnerable teen. You are so much more than that. Everyone makes you feel wanted. Since having my mentor, Mandy, I found someone I get along with so well and are alike in so many ways. I'm so glad I got partnered with her because she is so sweet, kind, and everything I was looking for in a mentor.
I think it's important for people to give to the Hope Project because it's an opportunity to give back to your community and give these girls an opportunity that they may not have had otherwise. Thinking about your own story and how having a mentor or opportunity for support or counseling could have helped your life turn out in a different way. That's the opportunity that you're giving these girls, these vulnerable youth. If you are thinking about being a mentor, I think coming to the Hope Project and asking questions and taking the opportunity to go to the events that the Hope Project is at is really going to help you to have a good understanding of what happens. And you can always become a volunteer and help out at some of the events with the vulnerable youth to help ease you into that, because it is a commitment, but it's not one that you'll regret.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Michael Poulin of the Muskegon County Sheriff's Office. When the Hope Project started, for myself and I think our area law enforcement, it really was more about education. And I'm talking about education to the police officers that work within our community. So we had a better understanding of the impact that the victims were dealing with for these type of serious crimes, just really giving us a better understanding. As we learned and moved forward with the task force, our involvement became greater and greater because we understood the importance of what the task force meant and what it stood for in our community. As sheriff, I've had an opportunity to speak at some symposiums and participate in the meetings through the task force. In fact, in 2017, we were able to make a donation to this nonprofit to help them out with their mission, which is so important for the advancement of safety and health for these young people within our community. Just a few years ago, I received a phone call from a parent. Typically through my professional life, the things that we see, and we really don't think that these type of incidences are going to deal with maybe individuals that we know, but they do. I received a call from a parent who was looking for help. Her young daughter had been engaging in conversations through the internet, obviously with individuals that were not who they said they were. She reached out to me to find out what they could do, and I knew exactly what we needed to do, and that was to get them in contact with the Hope Project and let her speak with individuals that are part of that task force. I was invited into this meeting. Initially, I didn't think I would be, but I was invited to this meeting, and from what I saw that day was the caring, the compassion, and the professionalism that the Hope Project garnered to this young girl. They were able to get her the assistance and the professional help that would be needed so she can be a successful individual and a successful person throughout her lifetime. It meant a lot for me to be invited and to know that I would be trusted to listen to the conversations, hear the things that were going on. And as a law enforcement professional, it really gave me more insight into the importance of this project. It's important to give to the Hope Project to help them in their mission of supporting and healing victims of crime.
Hi, I'm Amber Yossi, and I've been with the Hope Project for almost 3 years, and I have been with my current mentee, who is here with me today, for about 3 months.
What do you like about the Hope Project?
I like that there are a lot of outings that I get to go on when I'm here with the Hope Project.
What's been your favorite outing?
I would have to say the horses.
The horses, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you like about the horses?
Honestly, just being around them felt good.
What do you like to do with your mentor?
Well, we we've been going on like a lot of bike rides, and that's the main thing that I like, just being able to get out and explore a different area instead of the same one over and over. And there's an art project we're working on right now, and I'm getting to explore painting more than I used to.
What do you like to do? What's your favorite part of being a mentor?
Well, I mean, the Hope Project offers a completely different aspect of people and relationships that I don't normally have. And so it's provided a specific time to connect with my mentee and find stuff that she likes to do. And it's just, for me, everything is fun. because we've gone to the museum, we've gone on the bike rides, we've done some arts and crafts. She's helped me with some other projects that I've done. And so pretty much anything with her is fun. I mean, she's amazing. And so it's not hard to find something fun to do. I have seen my mentee grow in the form of she smiles more, she laughs more, she talks more. She is just an impressive young woman full of strength, and I really admire that she's really willing to do hard work now, and she's a remarkable young lady.
How do you feel about what she just said? What do you think about that?
It's hard to even think of myself like that. I always just focus on the negative instead of all the positives. So it's still hard to hear others say that kind of stuff about me, but I'm getting used to it. I'm really trying to get used to it. If the Hope Project wasn't here, I wouldn't be out more in my community or even doing more than I used to. The Hope Project has basically helped me with everything, so.
Why do I want people to give to the Hope Project? For one, there's multiple ways that you can give to this ministry. You can give by donations for the homes that are in our community helping women heal. You can donate finances that help offset the cost, and you can donate your time. And so to me, because it is such a ministry that has so many needs, but also so many aspects of how you can fulfill those needs, it can suit your lifestyle.
It's important to give to this organization because honestly, if you didn't, you wouldn't see how you wouldn't see others grow more and more if they didn't explore other things in their life.
My name is Donna Lamar, and I'm a PhD psychologist, and I'm a trauma expert. And I work to help people to recover and heal from trauma. I have just been named as the clinic director to a clinic that we are doing here in-house for our victims, for the girls that are here that have been victims of human trafficking. And so we're very excited they'll be able to come here and get the therapy and the help that they need. The effects of trauma from being human trafficked are huge. A lot of them have been taken and victimized when they were so young. They were still developing. Their brains weren't finished growing. Actually, our brains aren't finished growing until the 20s. So if they're being traumatized as a child in the elementary age, it's just really damaging. We know that trauma affects the brain. We know that it affects the body, the emotions. Every growing, healing part of our body is affected. It is possible to heal. Not only possible, it's absolutely people will heal if they are committed to healing and provided the right opportunities. And the right opportunities are what's being provided here at Hope Project. Activities like horseback riding, activities like crafts, activities like the retreat, support groups, therapy groups that are now going on. Relationships are huge. These girls do not have an idea, really, of how to have a good relationship until they've come here and find out that they're cared about. They're cared about and honored and respected. We went to visit the wolves at one time. And just watching the girls enjoy the wolves, and it's like, oh my goodness. It's like these big, huge animals are coming up and letting them pet them. And I was like, wow, all right. When they're giving crafts, when they're giving fun things to do. They're just amazing in helping them grow. Because we've talked about that once a person is rescued, it doesn't mean that their journey is going to be, okay, wonderful and terrific then. They have a long journey ahead of them, and that is where Hope Project comes in. And so the rescue is the beginning of the healing process, in the beginning of helping the body and the brain grow and heal, which it can do, and the mental health change so that they can feel good about themselves and they can like themselves. Healing is at least 2-year to 3-year process from severe trauma, at least. And again, that's back to the Hope Project, and I do hope people donate because it's making a difference, major difference for a lot of people here. Thank you very much for listening to this program. We appreciate your support and your caring, and we do hope that you will donate to help us continue the work with the girls. Thank you.
My name is Mary Ware, and I am a survivor of human trafficking. I came to the Hope Project through a prayer and worship night. I was invited 2 days after I was rescued from my trafficking situation. As I was in this trafficking situation and I was about to be killed, I said a prayer and I told God that if he was real, to get me out of the situation I was in. And I had the trafficker on my chest with his knees in my chest, ready to cut me open to find drugs. And essentially, right then, somebody busted in the door and saved me. When I came to the prayer and worship night, I basically had an encounter with Jesus, where I saw myself from a different perspective, in a way that I had never seen myself before. It was like God gave me the ability to see myself from his perspective, and it changed everything for me. Basically, I had lived a really rough life of abuse. I believed that I was nothing. And just seeing myself from God's perspective gave me that moment of clarity that I needed to realize that I was not just somebody's bartering tool, and I was not just something that somebody could use for their own personal gain. And up until that point, that's pretty much all that I believed about myself. The Hope Project means to me life, restoration, revival, family, identity, real, actual hope. My life would be different if I came to the Hope Project as a youth. Because my first experience with abuse or taken advantage of was as a 13-year-old girl. And if I would have had the community and the tools that the Hope Project has given me at that point, I would have taken a completely different path. It would be important for me for people to give to the Hope Project, because if this place did not exist, I would still be broken on the streets, probably dead in a ditch somewhere. And it didn't just save my life, it saved the lives of my children, and it also saved my marriage and the future of all of us.
Now here comes the fun part, how you can help. We have lots of different ways. Prayer is huge. If you're interested in volunteering, we have volunteer opportunities. Maybe if you're interested in mentoring, there's opportunities there. And then the biggest one, well, I shouldn't say the biggest one, but the one that is a huge need right now is giving. We need financial help to continue this ministry, the work of this ministry. We are growing. Last year at this time, we had 58 active clients. This year, right now to date, we have 85 clients. We are growing at a rate of about 3 clients per month. So girls and women, vulnerable youth, and survivors of sex trafficking that are reaching out for help. At least about 3 a month that are coming. That means that this time next year, we'll probably grow to 121 active clients. We only have, right now, one main person working with these women and girls. I am asking you if you would want to partner with us to see lives transformed. What does that look like? It could look like joining our guardian team and becoming a monthly donor. We are needing consistent funding so we can hire these 2 additional staff. Our goal is to raise about $86,000 so that we're able to hire more people so we can further the work of the Hope Project. We don't want anyone to fall through the cracks. We want everyone to be able to receive adequate care and support and help so they can heal. You have an opportunity to transform lives and to help set people free. What can you give? Would you be able to give $75 a month, $100 or $200 a month to help with this cause? Or would you be able to do an annual gift? Or maybe right now you can only do a one-time gift. Whatever is in your heart to give, I ask that you would give that. You get to be part of transforming lives. We have many ways to give. You can give through our website, hopeprojectusa.org, or you can mail a check in or mail in money to our address, 1516 Peck Street, Muskegon, Michigan, 49441. Many ways to give. And if you need a donation envelope, you can text the number on the screen, or you can email Sue Martina, sue@hopeprojectusa.org, and we will mail you a giving envelope. We can't do this by ourselves at the Hope Project. It takes a community to see lives transformed. And it takes a community to end human trafficking in West Michigan. And I am so thankful that you are watching tonight so that you can be part of that community. You can be part of our Hope Project family. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your time and for your willingness to learn about sex trafficking here in West Michigan and to learn about this ministry. May God bless you richly, and thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, that's a wrap. Behind the Mask 2020, a virtual event here for the Hope Project, has been insightful, educational,
powerful,
sometimes a little heartstring. Yeah, but it's important.
Yes, absolutely.
Sometimes kind of scary too. Yeah. But we know that we've got the right people in the right places, all in place here at the Hope Project to make sure that those survivors get the support and care they need. And next year, when we get the opportunity to do it again live, minus the dance-off, which someone promised. We'll
hit the like buttons for me. Hit the like buttons.
Yeah, we'll do that, right? Hey, we want to do it again live next year. It's really become the marquee event in town. It's huge. It's fun. It's for a purpose. It is so important for the Hope Project. But this year's virtual, we want to remind you of a couple of things. One, that match. Up to $20,000 is going to be matched to help out the programs and people of the Hope Project. We need you to make that donation here tonight. Follow the links, follow the website, and follow along, too. You're going to be able to see some of these segments over the next few months right here on the Hope Project's website, their social media, and we want you to use that hashtag as well, hashtag Behind the Mask 2020, for anything that you've done as well, so we can see that your participation was, fun in your own way.
Absolutely.
It's a big deal.
Absolutely. And thanks so much for all the help that you can do. Any amount is a great amount. And so we love the partnership of Muskegon residents coming together to be a part of the solution right here in our own city to end sex trafficking. So we thank you so much for all the help you're doing.
Not bad for an office show.
No, it was pretty good. I like this. This is we're right here in the Hope Project office room.
On Peck Street?
Yeah, on Peck Street. We're sitting here. It's a great place and great event.
We'll look forward to next year, though.
Absolutely.
When we're out doing what we do. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your donations. And thank you for the care you put into the Hope Project USA.